Everybody, and a warm welcome to our base.com marketplace spotlight webinar. Thank you for joining us, those who are here. I think we'll just wait a few more minutes for other attendees to join. Probably making coffee number 2, 3, 4. Any advance on 4? Kai-Chen and Thomas, how many coffees have you had?
I haven't had one yet, but I'll probably make one after this session.
Reward.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So we'll just wait a minute or two longer for a few more people to join, just before we kick off. As it happens, Kai-Chen and Thomas live reasonably close to each other in Ireland. And yesterday felt like an Irish summer's day. I believe the weather has returned to normal.
But yeah, now it's winter again for us.
It is cold, but it's sunny at least. I think the last 2 weeks,
Yeah,
it was quite rare to see the sun through the clouds.
definitely compared to last year.
Well, I hope those who are watching have warmer weather than us. Okie dokie. Well, I think what we'll do now is we'll get going, and we look forward to more people joining as the webinar progresses. A big welcome to you all, and thanks for joining this Base Marketplace webinar. My name is Pete Dupont, and I look after the UK partnerships here at Base. We're really excited to be able to showcase some of the key marketplaces as part of our partnership ecosystem and to give insights and tips on how to get the best out of them. Today, I'm really pleased to welcome Kai-Chen Tian, Business Development Manager from SHEIN Marketplace. Hi there, Kai-Chen, and how are you?
Hi, how are you, Pete?
Good, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Do you want to give us a quick intro about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Kai-Chen, and I look after SHEIN Europe Marketplace business. I will look after seller onboard, operation, and help you to achieve your business goals and financial objectives.
Amazing. Thanks, Kai-Chen. And alongside Kai-Chen, we have our own Thomas Vilasovsky, who is one of our BD managers. Now, Thomas, please tell me out of 10, how did I do with your surname?
Yeah, I think you actually did a really good job. So there's no correction needed.
Please let us know who you are and a quick intro.
Yeah, I'm Business Development Manager in Base, and I'm taking care of the new customer acquisition. But my daily job is literally just meeting with the customers and help to adjust their business using our platform and to fulfill their needs. Yep.
Amazing. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for joining us. For those who are listening, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them in the chat below, and we'll come to them at the end of the webinar at our Q&A if there's time. If not, we'll follow up directly after the event. What we'd like to do is go through these points today. So for those who are less familiar with Base, we'll go through a little bit about what Base is and who we are. We'll talk about the UK as a marketplace ecosystem as a whole, before learning more, of course, about SHEIN. We will then go on to understand how SHEIN and Base sit together, how the two platforms work, and again, get to questions right at the end. So for those who, again, haven't heard so much about Base, I wanted to just give a quick couple of slides about who we are and what it is that we do. So Base launched in 2006, and we've grown tremendously across different regions ever since then. We have over 30,000 users across the world, with some pretty exciting expansion plans for this year to launch deeper into Europe. At the moment, we have over 1,400 integrations that connects marketplaces, D2C, couriers and carriers, etc., and growing rapidly by the day. It's a multifunctional platform, which brings together different components within the e-commerce sort of operational flow, particularly sales channels under roof, as I mentioned, marketplaces, D2C and social commerce. we'll go into some of these things in a bit more detail, but essentially it stores your product data for listings, it manages your inventory and pricing across your sales channels, creates listings on those channels, and then brings all the orders back into base to be fulfilled and dispatched in the numerous ways that you can dictate. Just from a pricing perspective, I'll just add that there are no fixed contracts or fixed volumes to hit as we operate on a pay-as-you-go approach based on what the order volumes are. For those who'd like to learn more, I'll just drop something in the chat here. You can sign up to understand a bit more. As I said, we'll go into some things in a bit more detail, particularly how SHEIN and Base fit together as integration. But before we do that, I thought it'd be nice just to be able to understand a little bit more about the market in which SHEIN now finds itself in. In the UK, there's a very multi-channel landscape with some pretty established UK platforms, Amazon and eBay, of course. But we've also seen the rise of other marketplaces, particularly from outside the region, beginning to assert their dominance. SHEIN, of course, is one of those new players, and as a newly launched platform, it has vast potential for sales and really exciting growth opportunities for those in the UK and EU. We'll learn a bit more about specific verticals with Kai-Chen later on, but from a UK fashion perspective alone, where SHEIN is particularly strong, the UK's e-commerce fashion sector is projected to reach a value of $86 billion by the year 2030, which of course is just a ridiculous number. If we just think about that and align that fast-growing vertical with a really fast-growing marketplace like SHEIN in a fast-growing e-commerce country like the UK, it shows there's enormous opportunity in that one vertical alone. Like I said, we'll dig into the sort of the SHEIN offering shortly, but Kai-Chen, can I ask, I suppose from your perspective, how do you see SHEIN fitting into this sort of multi-channel environment in the UK?
I think, as you mentioned, SHEIN has a strong presence in the fashion category, but also the beauty, home, and lifestyle is also very strong for performing for us. So for sellers within these verticals, join the marketplace would allow you to access to our large customer base and a lot of sales opportunities. And for other verticals, I think it's also a additional channel that you can grow your business. As a growing platform, SHEIN welcomes all new sellers to join, expand your reach, and explore new opportunities.
That's right. And I suppose you mentioned it there, it's adopting SHEIN as a new channel. Do you find people lead with SHEIN and add new marketplaces alongside, or particularly as SHEIN is a newer marketplace in the UK, you're finding UK sellers who are currently on other marketplaces adopt SHEIN as a new channel, or both?
It has become very popular, like within the UK market, because the marketplace model was launched only last year, and on average basis, I see a lot of sellers coming from different categories would like to join SHEIN, and it has become very popular.
Yeah, and you can see why. What are the kind of challenges that you see with some of those newer sellers who want to start selling on SHEIN? Is it compliance, logistics? What are the blockers there?
I would say the majority of the block would be product listing and some issues with logistics as well. But however, those problems can be solved and streamlined by Base. And if you are already a seller on Base, you can integrate your product seamlessly within just a few clicks with us.
Amazing. And again, that's the easy things, isn't it? And again, we have certain partners that can help support in that logistics space as well, or that compliance piece too. Thomas, from your perspective, when you're speaking on a daily basis with customers, again, how have you found people adopting sort of new channels like SHEIN?
Yeah, I think there's a huge potential, especially as Kai-Chen mentioned, beauty products and percentage of female visitors and buyers on SHEIN, along with the pricing structure. I think this is something that that is creating a huge opportunity, and literally for some of the customers with certain product group, I think there should be no excuse to starting selling on SHEIN. Along with Kai-Chen, we can provide very soft onboarding and help you from the base side to enable all the logistics elements to make your product delivery more efficient. And Keichen can help with onboarding on her side. So within in normal cases, within a week or two, you can start selling on SHEIN with logistics. If you have already logistics solved with some fulfillment channels in Europe, I would say it's just a matter of few days before you'll be selling on SHEIN. For those who are selling already on multiple channels, just so you know, you can use Base to just import the products from your listings from any channel and export this straight to SHEIN, and that can be done within a matter of few minutes. And from this, you can start listing. I mean, listings are already there, and you can start selling.
So we're trying to reduce as many barriers as possible to adopt marketplaces like SHEIN, and support that you mentioned, Tomac, of course, is really important too. Kaitin, I think it would be great to hand over to you and learn more about SHEIN, and again, the opportunity to be able to join.
Thank you, Pete. Okay. Thanks, Pete. And I will walk you through a brief introduction of SHEIN and the marketplace business model. So first up, some key facts about SHEIN. We were established in 2012, and now we have over 250 million app downloads globally and over 100 million active users globally. In 2022, we became one of the most searched fashion brand in the world that serves over to 150 countries. The marketplace business model was relatively new. It was established 2 years ago in the Americas, and it became available in Europe last year. Our customer base is very young and engaged, with an average age of user of 29 and an app open rate of 79. 67% of our audience is women. Now the marketplace business model. So similar to many platforms, the marketplace business model is where we allow sellers to set their own prices and manage your own inventory and shipping. This is a flow chart of how it works. So as a seller, you will have to upload the products and set your own prices, and manage your own stock and fulfillment. And once your product is listed on the website, a customer places an order, you will look after fulfillment by yourself. And once the order is delivered, we will facilitate weekly payment. And support from SHEIN, we will be able to provide onboarding assistance to ensure a smooth start. The Seller Hub, which is the platform that sellers will be encountering every day, you will have the chance to list your product, promote, manage shipping, and manage payment as well. The Seller Hub also offers business insights and analytical tools where you can analyze your performance. Most importantly, as a benefit, if you would like to onboard now, we offer a 24/7 customer service support, so you don't need to talk with consumers directly. Now the fees. Unlike many other platforms who charges a monthly subscription, we don't charge a monthly subscription fee. And the commission fee for new joiners is also free for the first 30 days. And I think after that, commission fee is relatively low to compare to other platforms. So it's 10% for EU market and 12.24% for UK. We also offer free advertising. So once your store reach 100 SKUs, we will offer you more exposure within our platform. For example, the homepage, email marketing. And the marketplace model is now available within Europe in the UK, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, Sweden, Netherlands, Poland, and Portugal. With Seller Hub and to manage your product listing, we also offer 3 easy ways for listing. So one option is with the Seller Hub where you can bulk upload, Or as we mentioned previously, you can use Base to seamlessly integrate your products within just a few clicks. The tech team also offers API integration if this is your preferred way. The shipping requirement, we do require sellers to process and ship your orders within 72 hours. And the customers within UK and Germany will need to receive their orders within 5 business days. And the shipping time frame is 7 days for the rest of the market. The reason we have this policy in place is to ensure a timely deliveryness for the consumers. And this is also the key selling point for local sellers compared to, for example, our sellers back in China. The Seller Hub also offers a lot of functionalities to help you build your brand image and incentive sales. For example, the shop decoration function, you will be able to simply drag and drop and design your storefront and build the brand image that you would like. And the shop coupons would be able to incentive sales and customers to buy. At the moment, we offer a wide range of product categories. So the platform is not only limiting to fashion or beauty, we also accept categories, for example, electronics, toys, baby essentials, or pet supplies. Among those categories, from a past experience, the most popular category that we have seen is women fashion, beauty, bags and luggage, and shoes. And for the past few months, we can see we are also seeing home and lifestyle as a growing category and the most strongest performing ones along the categories. So lastly, the seller requirement. As I mentioned previously, we do require seller to be based in the UK or EU, and you will need to have a warehouse in the UK or EU to ship directly to customers and be able to meet the delivery timeline. And also be able to provide a valid UK and EU VAT number. And if you can meet all this requirement, the onboarding process will be very smooth. Normally, if you meet all this requirement, your shop will be approved within a few days or a week. We will share a sign-up link at the end of this session. And if you have any questions along the onboarding process, my contact detail is also there. You can just feel to reach out. I think that's all from me today, and I'll pass the stage back to Pik now.
Thank you, Kai-Chen. You answered my first question of how long we can expect to onboard a new account onto SHEIN. So anything between 3 days and a week, potentially?
Yeah. So normally it takes 3 days, but latest like a week. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And on those requirements there, of course, you're talking about VAT numbers. You're looking for those businesses who have entities that can provide those numbers. If any of those listening need support from Base, we can obviously refer to our partners to be able to support in that process too, to try and help expedite that process. One thing, Kai-Chen, that would be good to sort of dig into a bit more, I suppose, is the difference from SHEIN as a manufacturer, as a brand, and also those as the marketplace sellers. Obviously, there have been questions potentially about the supply chain of SHEIN as a manufacturer. How does a marketplace model sort of navigate around that?
I would say the marketplace model and the SHEIN brand is very different. The marketplace model would allow sellers to list, price, and manage their own products within the SHEIN platform and leverage our customers' resources. This will give sellers a more flexibility and control over your stores or how to expand your products within the platform. That's the main difference between the brand. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And when you're speaking with different brands, what's the ideal sort of seller size or business type that you're looking to work with?
We welcome sellers with all sizes at the moment because it's very new business. So we are open to explore opportunities. Yeah. Fantastic.
So we have technical support in terms of being able to list through integration. There's obviously commercial incentives to be able to move as well. And from your perspective, you're happy to work with sellers who are growing in their journey and the more established brands as
Definitely.
well.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Kai-Chen, that's super useful. Thank you so much for going through those slides. I think, Thomas, what would be lovely now is maybe to see again a little bit more about how the base sides connects with SHEIN, and how we can help sellers adopt that as a new channel. You are on mute though. It's a technical glitch.
Hi. So yeah, most of our, just so you know, actually, Base is at the moment over 1,400 integrations, and SHEIN is one of them. You can literally just go into integrations in our platform, find SHEIN, put in your account name, API key, and API secret code, and after this, you can test the connection. If everything comes out in green, that means that your connection is established, and the platform will pop up on the last side along with other channels of sale. And yeah, off you go. You can literally just start then listing the products. As far as I understand, we established with Cajun, there's no selling or listing limits, unlike on some other marketplaces. So you can start listing all of your products once your account is verified and it's connected to Base. As easy as that.
If you could then lead us through, Thomas, in terms of what the functionality is, in terms of what we can do, that would be amazing, please.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, once you import the products, they will appear in the product section in Base. And yeah, you can enrich your database over here. Bear in mind that some of the marketplaces will require additional parameters to be filled in, so you can use our inventory manager to fill these data. What I can also mention is that once you will plug in your fulfillment or couriers into Base, they'll be visible in orders, and you can either choose to use them manually and click on each of the carriers that is integrated in Base, or we can help you to set up automations, and those shipping labels will be printed for each of those carriers automatically. Yeah. And yeah, we offer a huge knowledge base if you would like to find out more about Base. There's also blog and channel, but I think the best is the Base Academy. It's a video-based academy that was divided for basic and advanced one. I think the basic can be done within the 4 or 5 hours. The advanced one takes a lot more longer, but I think just after the basic one, you'll have a pretty good idea how to use all the functionalities in Base, and not only list your items, but also set up some additional couriers, pick lists, and fulfill the orders. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's as easy as that.
There's a lot there, and it's pretty easy to do. I think, Thomas, as you were saying, once you're within Base, it's pretty straightforward to be able to connect SHEIN as a marketplace. So again, if you have listings from another marketplace that you'd like to export and then import into Base, you can then list those on SHEIN. We can then connect that in terms of managing inventory, pricing, etc., as a standalone channel, but also across that as your spread. From there, it's bringing the orders back into Base for you to dictate and set rules, crucially, on which orders and which products should be associated with which type of courier or carrier to get the product to the end customer. There was a lot of support to be able to help in the onboarding process. My question to you, Thomas, from that onboarding perspective. We understand from Kaichen it takes 3 to 7 days. So from a base perspective, if you have someone who's walked into the wrong room today, a bit like you're at university and you walk into the wrong lecture room, if they're unaware of who Base is and SHEIN is, how quickly can they connect both channels starting from today?
As I mentioned before, we have over 1,400 integrations. That means that there's a pretty good chance that whatever carrier you're using is probably integrated with us, either directly or through our partners. And if we're talking about out-of-the-box solutions, I think it takes 1 or 2 meetings to 1 hour meetings to actually integrate everything. In some instances, with some more complex setups, it might take longer, but on average, it's just 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay, so let's call that 2 days because we have an hour each day for a meeting. Let's say within those 2 days, you've created your Base account and you've connected to SHEIN whilst the SHEIN account is being opened on your behalf. So really within those 3 to 7 days, you could be up and running and selling on SHEIN using Base as your technical support.
Yes, so that's for customers who already are selling on different channels and would like to enable SHEIN as a additional channel of sales. For those who are not selling on e-commerce or not selling, not using Base and have their website only, that will take probably longer. They need to usually enable some different carriers or fulfillments, and we can help you with that as well. So we have a broad range of partners, fulfillment partners and carriers across Europe, which we can help to initiate the contact and connect them during the onboarding process, technical onboarding, and you can then start to use it. That usually just prolonging the time, but again, it's still possible within the week to start do it.
I think if there's support on both sides, then of course that helps expedite things. So great to know that that's an option, particularly from the SHEIN side as well. Kaichen, I suppose it would be great to look at, you've mentioned the returns piece there. Could you talk us through how that works in a bit more detail? So a UK seller has to have a UK returns option. Is that correct?
So we offer 2 options at the moment. Either you can use our return service at a cost. There will be a parcel limit for those kind of returns. So your parcel will need to be like below 15 kilograms. And also the maximum length will be like 120 centimeters. I think a lot of the sellers to your products will be able to meet this requirement. Just for some of the home, I know like larger pieces, home furnitures or like pet supply sellers, you can also have the option to manage your returns by yourself. So you just put the return labels in the parcel and everything else, like you can manage it yourself. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. That was a question that stuck in the back of my mind. Let's open up the floor a bit for any questions from those who are listening. We talked about onboarding times and support from both sides. Kaichen, I suppose, again, one other thing, we talked about verticals. We talked about fashion being particularly strong, obviously health and beauty, home and garden, etc. Are there any verticals which you don't want to work within?
I would say some of the vertical that can be like sold online, for example, wines, tobacco, those products like that won't be available on our platforms. And if you refer to the slides I shared previously, that include all the verticals that is available like for our marketplaces. That include everything. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So again, support is there and you're open-minded too.
Yeah.
Thomas, maybe while we wait for questions from the floor, what are the most common questions you get asked in terms of how does Base work and what any question marks might be in terms of how Base can connect or could be used from that perspective? And you're on mute.
I'm on mute again, sorry. So I think the most common question is our platform supporting multiple price groups, multiple pricing for different marketplaces? And the answer is yes. You can set up separate price groups, and then you can do repricing only for a particular price group. You can also schedule repricing, which is another question. I think another question that is really common is our platform supporting bundles, and the answer is yes. I know they're called in different ways in multiple platforms, but yeah, in our platform it's bundles. Yeah, and I think that the most common question is, how easy it is actually to transfer the products from other sources of sale, from other channels of sale to ours, and it's actually really easy. And there's a functionality built in our platform which you can import products from listings from any other channel of sale, including your web store. You can also import it from CSV file if this is if Excel spreadsheet is the richest database of your product with all the parameters. So there's literally a way even to set up a cyclic import every day for those who prefer this method, or they receive a file from supplier, and this is still happening from with customers around the world, actually, this method. So yeah, that's the most common questions, how to start. And yeah, everything else after this is just individual to each customers who have their own workflows, and we can help you to embed those workflows into our platform.
I think that's also key, isn't it? There's no one size fits all. We work with sellers again of all different shapes and sizes. Some have a D2C plus one marketplace, and that D2C might be Shopify, might be Magento, it might be BigCommerce. How does that connect, to 1, 2, 3, a dozen different channels and different territories, with each complication, again, with logistics to be able to support that. So the workflows within Base are there to be able to help make that sort of connection slightly sort of easier and more streamlined, and support that when it gets slightly more complex. Some, as you say, are quite straightforward in terms of being able to almost self-serve within Base, put in there the listings from other marketplaces and be able to list that on new channels and connect the dots from there. Again, there is support available for those who have those slightly more complex scenarios where further help is needed. Any questions from those who are listening, please drop them in the chat now. Again, from a Base perspective, we've learned about the commercials from SHEIN, which is fantastic. Base as a platform is priced on a order by order basis, which we talked about briefly. There's even a free to use package with Base for those under 100 orders per month. But anything over 100 orders to just up to 5,000 is a £19 monthly subscription plus 15 pence per order. Again, so that fluctuates with you, and there's no fixed thresholds to hit as you sell. So it's a great way to be able to start scaling on new channels, and again, list on new marketplaces like SHEIN. Kai-Chen, any final words from you, and anything about SHEIN that we haven't quite spoken about, or things to reiterate?
I think I covered most of the part that I would like to say throughout the presentation. But again, we welcome all size of sellers to join this marketplace, and I think it's a great opportunity for you guys as well to explore opportunities. As you know, we are now of the most shopped marketplace for younger generations now. Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you. And what I'll do here is I'll just add this link here in the chat so people can go and sign up. If they have any questions, of course, if they're Base users already and want to come and ask Base for some questions, a bit of support about SHEIN, they can come to us, and of course we can pass them on to you, Kai-Chen, for further questions. Again, if any of you have interest to be able to speak to the team here at Base, we're happy to support in those conversations and support SHEIN sellers looking to onboard further. It's been a very quick whistle-stop webinar. Thank you all very much for joining. Thank you for those who are listening. Kai-Chen and Thomas, thank you for your time. We will share the recording on a follow-up email. And again, if you have any questions that you'd like us to be able to discuss, please do. Oh, we have a quick question from Daniel. I will just share this here. The question is, SHEIN is mainly a target female audience. Would you consider, do you think that's going to shift, I suppose, is Daniel's question, towards a more neutral audience where male might become more of a, again, an equal audience to you? Or do you see SHEIN very much focusing on the female audience still?
No, I mean, I mentioned like 60%, 67% of our audience are women, but remember there's still 33% of the audience are male. So the reason that we welcome all kinds of sellers is that we are open to explore all categories and reach to like audience that's towards men as well. So I wouldn't say like SHEIN is mainly only focused on the female. It's just like the way that we have our writings are now, it's more towards female, but we are open to explore opportunities over there.
I suppose it naturally leans towards obviously shoppers that tend to be female, because that tends to be the ratio of those, particularly in the fashion space and the gifting space. If they're looking for presents, rightly or wrongly, the women tend to be those who are making the right choices and not leaving it to their boyfriends or husbands to make awful mistakes.
Yeah.
If I can add one thing, I actually know Daniel, who's our customer, who's a big customer, and I know exactly what products his company is selling. So I think those women who are looking for beauty products on SHEIN will also look for a present, a gift from time to time for the men in their life, and I think that's a perfect actually example where your product would fit in. And I think, yeah, just breaking the stereotypes as well. I think there's lots of women at this stage which are interested in motorsports and clothes branded with certain brands. So I think that would fit in nicely as well.
Absolutely.
I think someone is writing at the moment.
Another question. And Kai-Chen, from your perspective, of course, SHEIN as a new entrant to the UK market, obviously you have plans to grow here. This is a key territory for you.
Oh yeah, it's my main focus at the moment as well. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. Thomas, is there any final things from the base perspective that we haven't quite talked about just yet?
I just want to finish on maybe something that Daniel is writing as well. I think what's important as well, that is, it's not only that from SHEIN perspective, it's not only that there's no monthly subscription fee, but you can actually create a storefront for free as well in SHEIN, as far as I understand, and that's really important. So you can create your branding. So for brands like Daniel's brand, actually, that is paying a lot of attention, a lot of detail to each storefront on each marketplace. I think that's important as well. It's something that they can do on SHEIN and not pay additionally for that on the SHEIN side. From the base perspective, I think most of our customers who are already selling on other marketplaces, it will be a really, really quick transition to just open another channel of sale. If you have the logistics ready, if you have already products in base, it will be quite quick to do it. You can connect with Kai-Chen to get your account verified and help you with onboarding on the SHEIN side, and you can just start listing on SHEIN. And with the safety net, which is at the moment done on SHEIN side with the very, very soft pricing, which basically you're paying just commission for sale, I think there should be no excuse for some of the sellers to just start and see if they can get some additional sales there.
Thank you, Thomas.
Definitely.
And again, and Daniel's raised a good point here also in terms of support. Obviously, SHEIN is an international business like Base. He's looking to be able to already started in the US, but now looking to look in the UK. He might be knocking your door, Kai-Chen, for your better support. And let's say better, different, let's say different.
Looking forward to connecting with you, Daniel.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for your time. Kai-Chen, has been really terrific to learn more about SHEIN. And again, really keen to be able to explore how we can support SHEIN's growth in the UK from Base. So thank you all for joining. Look forward to speaking to you again soon.
See ya. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.